Hey, Big A, question about the crypto reserve. Your question is, you showed your dad the video about crypto reserve, and your dad disagreed with me. You agreed that Solana and others shouldn't be in the reserve, so he agreed with you there, but he was adamant that we should have a Bitcoin reserve. He believes that crypto is needlessly attributed with a negative stigma based on scams and the people centered around it rather than crypto itself. Are there reasons other than government corruption that make you opposed to the reserve? Yeah, many, millions. Listen, I'm not a crypto guy, bro. I have no faith in crypto at all as a true store of value. I think it's all Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street. It's Fugazi, it's what's it? It's it's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit. It's it's snake oil. The price of Bitcoin directly tracks the price of the NASDAQ. It's a sign of people having a bunch of liquidity and easy money, and the second they don't have it, the price goes down. I don't think it's like a solid, stable reserve currency. But the reason I was most against it was that I thought, and this is based on the tweet, that they were going to use taxpayer money to buy crypto and thus create a reserve. But in fact, I don't have to buy an apartment in Monaco. In fact, we're good. The announcement was pretty bad for crypto heads. The actual announcement, where by the way, Trump had a very hilarious quote. Where is it? That's what they say about Bitcoin. You shouldn't sell it, I guess. Who the hell knows? Anyway, the point is the Bitcoin reserve as it currently stands is just gonna be anytime the FBI or the police seizes crypto from somebody, they just keep it and they don't sell it. That's all the strategic reserve is amounting to be. As the law stands now, as the executive order stands now, they're not going to actually spend taxpayer money to buy it. Listen, there's still plenty of grift involved. Number one, who knew about that tweet before it went out, made massive bets, and then capitalized on the short-term spike? I don't know. Why is Justin Sun able to get out of his crimes by spending $75 million on Trump coin? These are all important fraudulent questions, but in terms of the sanctity of my money, in terms of taking my taxpayer dollars and buying crypto, it seems fine. Seems like it's not happening. Which is why, after what it actually was announced, the price tanked because everyone thought it would be like, dumping their bags on the taxpayer once they realized it wasn't happening. Now, the only thing is David Sachs keeps saying no buying initially. So he might try to weasel his way into doing it later. Might try to get it happen. And then Texas announced a strategic Bitcoin reserve of Texas, and I got a bunch of tweets about that. So I looked into that as well. It turns out that one is entirely volunteer-based. They're not buying any with taxpayer money. They're not even collecting any. It's basically like, hey, if you want to donate your Bitcoin to the Texas Strategic Reserve, we'll hold it to build up for tech. It's all like fake pumped, like people trying to make a headline so they can like pump it, but nothing's actually happening. So honestly, good news. Honestly, because I don't know if you noticed, but that was a particular sticking point for me. I was pretty frustrated with it. I think it's so stupid, and it's nice to hear that at least currently, crypto bag holders are not getting the taxpayer to bail them out. The market is really waking up to the fact that consumer spending is slowing. Our government whipsaws between wildly differing strategies by the day. There's no consistency. Our allies are slowly but surely trying to build supply chains outside and around us. Stock market money is fleeing for Europe, which is seeing stock market growth after years of being Euro poors. And all of that's combining to a really tumultuous market, specifically with regards to people's 401ks. People's 401ks are all in the S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow Jones. All those are down. People are a little bit worried. It's so funny. I talk about this all the time. This is something I really, truly believe in, and it's not funny, but it is, I don't know. It's something to see happen in real life. It is, I guess, a little bit satisfying, even though I know it's bad. Okay, I've talked about this all the time. I've talked about this a million times. There's like this pyramid, okay, of financial knowledge, you could say. And at the bottom is like people that buy meme stocks, crypto shills, pump fun, GME, total horseshit, total gamblers. And then right above this, only one step above this, is the people that say you should dollar cost average at all times. I'm a dollar cost average guy. There's no way. Time in the market beats timing the market. I've got it all figured out. They just repeat the exact same 4 phrases that they don't even know the origin or meaning of, with no exceptions. And again, for the average person, this is a fine spot to be, especially for the last 80 years. Okay, I totally get it. But one thing I've mentioned over and over is that these people are always so confident when the market is returning 10, 20% a year. When the S&P's up 10, 20% every year, it's so easy to be like, yeah, time in the market, always buy the dip. Always, everything's is steady and good. But emotionally, historically, these people always start getting nervous when things go down. And suddenly when they see their savings plummeting 10, 15, 20%, and they also might have job uncertainty, and they suddenly start losing the very phrases they were so rock solid on. So I'm just, if you go to like our Bogleheads or our investing or our stocks, it's all people like making these exact same posts like, hey, I know timing the market and all that, but also I'm getting really nervous. And of course it's gonna happen. Of course it's gonna happen because it's happen every time. Every time the people that sound so solid, they're just products of confidence. And especially the S&P 500, man. Listen, if your retirement account has been buying Tesla as like one of its top 7 holdings for the past 5 years, it's gonna be, that alone is gonna drag down your performance. I always hear the adage that your 401k will have in your lifetime. Is it better to have this happen earlier than happen later in life? Of course. You know, when you get old, you have to pull out of the 401k. You know, you understand? You don't want it to happen when you're about to retire because then you have no money. You want it to happen before it grows. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Year of kindness. But yes, of course, you want it to happen earlier. But more importantly, listen, everyone will tell you that the market always goes up over time. And that's so f***ing true. But the important thing to understand is that if there are large, let's look at 100 years, right? If there's a big crash like 1929, which I'm not saying is happening, but if that happened, your money isn't back to even for 30 years. For 30 years. 30 years is a long fucking time. People always, when they make these arguments about like, yeah, you got time in the market. It's true, but they aren't honest. They aren't intellectually honest about how long it can take. People assume like you buy the dip, it's back in 6 months. That's been true recently, in recent history, but that's not true historically. I mean, like again, the crash in the 70s, again, that's like 1968, 9 to 1993. It's another 30 years, bro. 30 years, peak to trough. And also it relies on you being able to still dollar cost average as it's going down. You have to keep your same job at the same level of income and keep buying the same amount. It means you're not cutting expenses. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's a lot more nuance to it. People kind of just plug their ears and go, la, 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 I'm always going to be fine. Everything's going to go up 10% a year. It's like, no, historically, that's not been the case. It's only been the case for the past 20 years during a time of like massive money printing. So that's all I want people to understand. I'm not trying to shake you out of your position. I just want you to know it's going to be emotionally a lot harder than you make it sound right now. Everyone makes it sound so easy when times are good. My dad keeps defending the reserve time. I mean, bro, I don't know if you've learned this little bit of advice, is arguing with your parents about politics is like usually a waste of fucking time and often pretty, I don't know. If you have that kind of relationship and you can do it cordially, please do. But I've got some uncles I would not want to get cornered on Thanksgiving to talk about the crypto reserve. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm totally down to be like, hey, you got your opinion, I got mine. It's fine. You know, it ain't my business to try and yell at you. I think of that for chatters, bro. You understand that like me and Stans are such good friends for so many years. In many ways, we're almost the same person, but we disagree on a lot of things. If I'm not going to agree with Stans on political things, then I'm not going to agree with any chatter. You know, it's all different. Everyone's got their own unique slice of life. Stans MAGA. I'll be honest with you. No, Stans is the one friend that's too woke. Ludwig's MAGA. Centrist A-Trackers, the glue to keep them together. Yeah, exactly. If they're in the same room without me, they fight. Can you have a serious political debate on your podcast? I think this week's podcast, Doug and I are going to debate Tesla. Full disclosure. I asked for a devil's advocate, and Doug's a tech guy. He's not exactly Mr. Elon in many respects, but anyway, I think we have a debate. So I think it'll be an interesting episode. Oh, I also ratioed Andrew Yang. This guy was a candidate for president. He said, sometimes this happens slowly, and then quickly. And I said, keep up, Yang. And tweeted my video from 6 months ago, and I ratioed his ass. Get f***ed, Yang Gang. UBI is my thing now. That's how it works. I get UBI. There's one difference. It's UBI for content creators. So every streamer, even if they take a day off or they stop uploading, they still get the same amount of income. The government provides it. So like if I don't want to do Marketing Monday this week, I get paid like I did do Marketing Monday. That way I can get more days off. It'll be good for the economy. It's not really UBI, it's you buy Twitch subs. And don't cancel them.